Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're digging into a truly fascinating piece of sports analysis that just hit the press. You see, on July 30th, 2026, 38-year-old Ajinkya Rahane officially announced his retirement from all forms of cricket. Naturally, the sports world was quick to offer congratulations on a fantastic career, but there was one specific tribute that really caught our eye. It was written by the legendary 1983 World Cup winning captain, Sunil Gavaskar, for his midday column. And Gavaskar didn't just offer your standard run-of-the-mill praise. He actually gave us this deep, slightly critical look at how we perceive leadership in sports. So we're going to unpack exactly what he meant and why Rahane's career deserves a much closer look.
Okay, let's dive into this. The central mystery that Gavaskar brings to light is honestly a bit of a head-scratcher. How does an undefeated captain just fly under the radar? We're talking about a guy who stepped into one of the most high-pressure roles in global sports, captaining the Indian Test cricket team, and he did it without losing a single match. Yet, as Gavaskar points out, Rahane managed to go about his business without creating a fuss, and crazily enough, without generating the massive headlines you'd normally expect for an undefeated leader.
The whole thing really boils down to this one very plain statement from the legendary captain. Gavaskar wrote, "Ajinkya never got the credit he deserved." That is the absolute core thesis of his entire tribute. Basically, he went about his business, got things done without creating a fuss, but completely lacked the roaring applause he truly merited.
To hammer this point home, Gavaskar makes a really interesting comparison. Let's look at Section 1, the Rahul Dravid parallel.
He directly links Rahane to another heavily respected, yet historically understated Indian cricket legend, Rahul Dravid. Both of these guys, brilliant, tactical leaders who secured some terrific wins, but neither really received that widespread, deafening applause they arguably merited. Whenever Virat Kohli was unavailable, Rahane would just seamlessly step up as the leader in tests. No panic, just a calm transition. But, much like Dravid, that incredible reliability was often just taken for granted. Gavaskar offers a pretty sharp observation of Indian cricket culture to explain why this happens. He notes that, when the team wins, all the praise naturally gravitates toward the individual achievers, the flashy batters or the bowlers taking wickets. But when the team loses, bam, the captain and the coach immediately get the blame. It perfectly explains why a selfless captain like Rahane tends to get unfairly overlooked.
And the stats totally back this up. Moving on to Section 2, an undefeated captaincy record.
Just look at that stark reality, 4-0. As a stand-in test captain, Rahane commanded the team in 6 tests. Out of those 6, he walked away with 4 wins, 0 losses, and 2 draws. Gavaskar really emphasizes this exceptional record. To lead a team in Test cricket and emerge without a single defeat in 6 outings is literally an unbelievable feat.
But Gavaskar doesn't just rest his case on overall stats. He zeroes in on what he considers Rahane's absolute greatest achievement. Let's get into Section 3, the 2021 Australian Miracle. To truly appreciate this, we have to talk about the massive, crushing adversity the team was facing in Australia. It was like a giant puzzle where all the pieces were missing. They were down 0-1 in the series. They just suffered that totally demoralizing 36 all-out collapse in Adelaide. Immediately after, Captain Virat Kohli leaves for the birth of his first child. Oh, and if that wasn't enough, several of their top players were suddenly sidelined with injuries. The stage was set for an absolute disaster. But against that backdrop, here's how the chronological comeback actually played out. After the disaster of Match 1 and Kohli leaving, Rahane didn't just give a pep talk. He stepped onto the field in Match 2 and hit a crucial, series-saving century. He led entirely from the front, and it all culminated in the final match with a historic victory at the Gabba, clinching the series 2-1 against literally all odds. And this brilliantly illustrates Gavaskar's poetic summary of how Rahane and coach Ravi Shastri picked the team up from the dumps. He writes, "The vice-captain took over a ship that was ready to sink, and not only sailed it into calmer waters, but also gave India an unprecedented first win at Australia's fortress, the Gabba." It's such a perfect metaphor for the pressure he was under. From all of this, Gavaskar draws a very distinct conclusion. Because this ultimate test victory was achieved without so many of India's top players, it proved a vital lesson. Nobody is indispensable in this game. He impartially reports that it really just proved the sheer power of a resilient team over individual star power.
Which brings us to the final theme of our explainer, Section 4, a legacy without enemies.
This is honestly the most poignant note in the entire tribute. Gavaskar points out, it's not of many cricketers that it can be said that they did not have a single enemy in the game. Think about that.
In an ultra-competitive sport with massive egos, to play for over a decade and leave with 0 enemies? Gavaskar notes that out of everyone he knows, Rahane is among perhaps fewer than a dozen who can say that. So, summarizing the core tenets of his legacy as Gavaskar describes them, Rahane played the game totally selflessly. Because of that, he gets to walk away and leave the sport with his head held incredibly high. His career was defined by typical humility from start to finish, and he has definitely earned the sincere, deep thanks of true cricket lovers.
So I want to leave you with this final thought today. In a game so completely obsessed with individual stars and loud personalities, have we forgotten how to value the selfless team player? It's something that really makes you ponder the true value of quiet leadership. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope it gives you a fresh perspective on what making a real impact looks like. Hey everyone!